Hello there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Do you know what it's like to be a teenager in today's world? It can be a confusing and challenging time of life filled with new experiences and decisions. It's no secret that the teenage years are often some of the most trying times for both teenagers and their parents or guardians. From dealing with mental health issues and finding friends that understand them, to navigating the digital world, teenagers need all the help they can get. This is why we've put together this list of the top 10 things parents should know about their teenage children. Whether you're struggling to connect with your teen or just looking for some guidance on how to interact better, this video is here to help you make sense of it all. Number 1. Teenagers are constantly changing and growing. They're not the same as when they were younger. Teenagers are at a time in their life when they experience rapid changes, physically, mentally, and emotionally. They have gone through puberty and are transitioning into their own person. Adolescence is a time for exploration and curiosity, as teens seek to discover who they really are. This can be simultaneously challenging and exciting, as teenagers often adopt new friends, hobbies, opinions, and outlooks on the world. For the most part, this is all part of healthy development, but it can be unsettling for parents and guardians who are used to raising kids with different personalities than the ones they now exhibit. As teenagers age, it's also fascinating to witness how their personalities take shape into adulthood, so enjoy it. Every day brings a new surprise as these tender adolescents jog confidently forward along the path of life. Therefore, it's important to remember that while adjustments may need to be made, there is beauty in watching our children grow into young adults full of potential before our eyes. Number 2. Teenagers need space and time to themselves, both physically and emotionally. All parents and guardians want to support their adolescents as they grow and embark on the difficult journey of entering adulthood. One thing that must be kept in mind when raising teenagers is that it's essential for them to have their own space, both physically and emotionally. This can range from giving them their own room or encouraging them to find their own hobbies and interests away from their parents' watchful eyes. Setting appropriate boundaries between teens and their parents can help strengthen relationships while ensuring that the teenagers develop strong self-confidence, independence, and a sense of autonomy. As they learn how to make decisions of their own, these skills will serve as valuable assets throughout their lives. So, trust your judgment. Give your teen a little more freedom, allow them time to themselves, but keep watch in the background. Additionally, setting aside specific times alone without any outside interruptions can help them distance themselves from any underlying pressures and give them more of an opportunity to foster valuable personal growth. Ultimately, allowing teens the chance to gain freedom from stressful situations can leave them feeling refreshed with a newfound perspective on life. Number 3. Teenagers are individuals just like everyone else. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to parenting them. Parenting teenagers can be a difficult task. While there are certain techniques that work with some teens, it is important to recognize that every teenager is unique. They are individuals just like any other person, and therefore don't all respond to the same tactics in the same way. If your parenting style isn't working, consider evaluating your approach and making tweaks where appropriate. Whether it's trying out different strategies, gaining an understanding of their interests, or learning more about their pressures they may face day to day, thinking outside the box can often help you better communicate with and understand your teenage child. Each relationship between parent and child is unique, therefore the best parenting method for each family must be tailored to suit the individual needs of both parties. It takes both flexibility and consistency from parents to recognize each child's special traits and for them to provide the best environment for raising adolescents into autonomous adults. Number 4. Teenagers are capable of great things, but don't forget that they're still learning. Teenagers can be incredibly impressive. Their enthusiasm, energy, and forward-thinking attitudes make them capable of achieving great things. We must remember, however, that they are still learning and are bound to make mistakes. Teenagers are adept at gathering information from various sources, such as the internet and peers, but this means that there is also a risk of misinformation or misunderstanding. So, it is important to keep sight of this and ensure that the teenagers have access to correct information for them to develop into mature, responsible adults who use their skills effectively for the good of themselves and others. As such, it is essential for parents to provide guidance and support through difficult situations as teenagers take on responsibilities and opportunities. The confidence, courage, and knowledge that teens can gain from adult mentors or role models can be invaluable assets as they grow into adulthood. Number 5. Keep communication open between you and your teenager, even if it's tough. When it comes to parenting, one of the most important things a parent can do is to maintain open communication with their teen. Establishing trust early on can be incredibly beneficial when it comes to navigating difficult conversations and overcoming obstacles throughout your child's adolescence. It's not easy, but you should always strive to be understanding and accepting if they are struggling academically, athletically, or socially. Teens need structured guidance and reassurance that these difficulties are temporary. Encourage an environment where your teenager feels heard, respected, and able to express themselves freely. This way you can ensure that communication will never suffer. Also, communication needs to be a two-way street. Make sure that you are actively listening as much as you are talking. With patience and understanding, these moments can become foundational stones of your family's strategy for effective parenting in the years to come. Besides, even when it's seemingly impossible, strive to keep communicating with your teen throughout every necessary challenge. Number 6. Don't try to control your teenager. Allow them the freedom to make their own choices. As a parent or guardian, it can be tempting to try and control every aspect of your teenager's life. What friends they hang out with, how they spend their time and money, and countless other areas. Yet, allowing them the freedom to make their own decisions is an important part of growing up. Giving teens space encourages independence and responsibility, helps them practice making sound decisions, and leads to greater self-confidence as young adults. Importantly, this doesn't mean condoning reckless behavior, but instead encouraging healthy boundaries that enable teens to learn from their mistakes rather than working hard to prevent them from happening in the first place. Ultimately, when parents step back and extend trust, kids often rise to the occasion, taking responsibility for themselves when appropriate. Number 7. Peer pressure is a big factor in their lives, especially during middle and high school. Peer pressure can take many forms, and examples of this can be seen throughout a teenager's life in middle and high school. It is important for parents or guardians to be aware of the different pressures their teen may face, as it can have a large impact on their behavior, attitude, and mental health. Whether it's from wanting to fit in with the cool crowd at school by experimenting with drugs or being exposed to sexual activities that were not previously discussed with them, peer pressure can lead teens down different paths that don't always have the best outcome. Taking the time to talk to your teens about situations they may see or hear about and emphasizing good decision-making skills can help equip them against potential negative influences they may encounter while growing up. It's important for teens to know that it's okay to make their own choices, even if it means being different from their peers. Number 8. They need your guidance, but also want to feel like you trust them. Parenting a teen means truly walking the line between being firm and trusting. Striking the right balance can be a challenging and delicate task for parents, but examples of it are possible with patience and practice. For instance, setting and enforcing boundaries related to curfews, as well as other household rules, is an important way to trust teens while still providing guidance. Offering freedom in terms of new experiences or freedoms within the limits of safety can give teens a sense that you have faith in them without going too far. Additionally, even when rules need to be broken down due to complicated circumstances, tweaking asked for punishments rather than harshly scolding or applying strict laws can help teenagers realize you understand them, encouraging them to value your trust more highly. Also, showing that you have faith in their intelligence and ability can go a long way when it comes to building trust between you and your teenager. Number 9. It's important to talk openly with them about sex, drugs, and alcohol. These are on their mind a lot. It is crucial for parents to have open and honest conversations with their teenagers about sensitive subjects such as sex, drugs, and alcohol. As a parent, it's important to understand the weight of these topics in your teen's life. Teenagers tend to think and talk about these matters with their friends, but may not often seek advice or guidance from those most important in their lives, their parents. If a teen feels they can come to their parents with questions and concerns without judgment, this opens communication pathways between parent and child that could even save a young person's life. Making sure your teenager knows the facts about drugs and alcohol, as well as information about sex and relationships, is key to helping them feel safe and making informed decisions. Endeavor to share your valuable experience with them as necessary. Keep in mind that it's important to empower your teens with education and knowledge rather than using scare tactics that often foster mistrust for the future. Number 10. Technology is a huge part of their lives. Make sure you set rules for how much time they can spend on screens. It goes without saying that our lives have been heavily impacted by technology, and this is especially true for teenagers. As a parent, it is wise to monitor your child's usage of devices such as phones, computers, and tablets. Setting rules can help prevent them from becoming easily distracted or having inappropriate interactions with the internet. For example, you could establish time limits on when they can use their devices and encourage them to stay offline after a certain hour in order to prioritize sleeping and other important activities. Additionally, you should also consider setting up parental control settings on any device given to a teenager. That way you are always aware of what apps and websites your child accesses online. All in all, understanding the importance of limitations can give our children the advantage of healthy tech habits for life. With the right rules in place, technology can safely remain a key part of their lives without having a negative impact on their well-being. Lastly, as a parent or guardian, it is incredibly important to show your teenager unconditional love and support. It can be notoriously difficult to keep up with their rapidly changing needs as they reach adulthood, but showing them your acceptance no matter the situation will remain one of the most powerful healing gifts you can give as they grow up. Being a teenager can be tough, but hopefully these tips have given you some insight into what they're going through. It's important to remember that every teenager is different, so don't try to fit them into a mold. Keep the lines of communication open, give them space when they need it, and trust that they'll make the right choices. Parenting a teenager isn't always easy, but it's definitely worth it. With your help and guidance, your teenagers can grow into amazing adults. If you find this video helpful and informative, don't forget to like, share, leave a comment, subscribe, and press the notification button to get updated for our next videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.